inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, and welcome back to Not Your Mother's Hobbies. This will be our first episode in Hero Quest painting series. As you can see here, we're going to do the doors. We're going to do all the doors from the core set, Keller's Keep, and Return of the Witch Lord. You can see I've already primed this one here. This is the closed door. We have the open door down there. Here we've got the iron door and the reinforced door. So let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, we're going to be doing a dry brush zenithal. Call it a slap chop, call it a crap chop, call it whatever you want. We're just using some regular old craft paint, just like in my priming video. So as you can see, I made a mistake here, just dropped it in the paint. Don't sweat, just be quick. So here you can see it's all cleaned up. I have a little water cup off to the side, and I just took this brush and cleaned it all up. Got it all saturated in water and wiped it up with a tissue, and there you go, Bob's your uncle. It's all cleaned up. So we're just going to dry brush all the doors now. Every single one, the exact same way. And in case you haven't seen it, I'll put a link in the annotations for my priming video where I go over this exact same process and some other ways to get your models prepped and ready. But for all these doors, we're just going to do dry brush, focusing more and more to the top as we do layer after layer. Here you can see some of our doors all after having a coat of paint. Here's what a finished one will look like compared. There's about 3 layers up. We're just going to do that with all these ones, focusing more and more to the upper half and then upper quarter, making that top bit way brighter. The sun's coming down on it, focusing on that upper half as we go. Alright, there we go, it's all prepped. So first things first, we are going to do the vines. The vines on the open and closed doors are the exact same. These are the same sculpts, just one has an open door, the other one has a closed door. Exactly the same. So our first color that we're going to use is going to be orc flesh. And that's how we're going to do all those little vines. So just take a thin tip brush. I got a medium kind of one here. I tested on my nail. It's my palette. That's how I go all the time. Just painting on my thumb, making sure I got consistency. Use what you got. It's right there. Just almost touching the model. It's right up in there. And you can see we're just following the contour. These little vines. Just getting them going. We're just going to go all around following the vines that you see, any vines you see. Some of the detail on here can be a little tough to see, but just do your best, get them going. too long. Look at that. Not too bad. Alright, next up we're going to do the metal on the open and closed doors. We're going to use gunmetal. Any metal will do. I'm using gunmetal by Vallejo. I like the Model Air. It really doesn't need any like watering down or anything like that. It's already really nice and thin. And we're just going to do all these kind of lock stones. They look like they're a separate piece. I did mine in metal. You could do them in stone or a marble or anything else, but I chose to do them in this metal color. Alright, so with both done, we're going to go do some washing now. We're going to take some Numb Oil Gloss from Citadel. I like the gloss version for my metals because I feel like the gloss medium helps it sit in the recesses better. And I just like that look for my metallics, really sitting into those recesses and falling off, wicking off of the raised surfaces. The regular one has a tendency to tint, which I don't actually mind. I like the tint, but for my metallics, don't really care. I want it more in those recesses. So just slap it on. Okay, next we're just going to take that same metallic color we had for our base, so my gunmetal, and we're just going to go over the most raised points just to bring them back a little bit. Even though I said it doesn't tint, it still tints. It's just not as bad. But yeah, so we're just going to bring those back. Alright, so next is our highlight. We're going to use Chrome Vallejo Model Air. This is my go-to. I love the Vallejo Model Air metallics. They are super rad, or at least the silver metallics. I love them a lot. Super rad. So just go over all the little high points. I like to make my highlights for metallics really distinct, little pings, so I don't go too heavy. Just kind of the most raised areas and give it a little bit here and there. Little light pings. Ding, ding, ding. Don't forget the top. You can just do these little lines straight across. Alright, next up is Skeleton Horde for the bases. Right, so on my doors, I avoided, or I wanted to avoid, doing the door stonework, and instead I colored the ground, and so that gave it a distinct look. I kept the stonework a pale gray, and I made the ground bases this muddy brown color. You can give it 1-2 coats, however you want, just slap it on there. The tint will really break it up and make it nice and distinct. Alright, snakebite leather. It is time for the wood on the doors. Snakebite leather is my favorite Citadel paint for wood. I guess it's my favorite paint for any kind of wood. It goes on super fast. Love me them contrast paints. So glad they came out. Whether you're using speed paint, contrast, anything, like those inks and whatnot. Love them. They're such a time saver. They're so great. So yeah, just be careful. Go over the door. That's about it. Paint against the grain? No. Paint along the grain. So that's what I tried to do. You can see I'm doing some little wiggly lines, whatever, but I generally am going down the grain of it in little sections. And that kept it from streaking, pooling, as contrast is wont to do. But yeah, just go over your wood, go over your door like that, and don't forget to do the other side. You can see I'm also avoiding the little metal things. Yes, we could have done the metal things while we did the metal topper, but this is just the way that I go. You know, I like to kind of go piece by piece, and sometimes it all doesn't line up. You do you. You want to do all the metal together? Go ahead. Whatever makes you comfortable. For me, this makes me comfortable. Just going with the flow. Alright, so now that both sides are done, we're going in with that gunmetal again, and we're doing the hinges and the filigree, the knocker, and the little studs. Those studs are a good reason why you might want to do the metal on the inside of the doors separate, as well as you can clean up any little mistakes and stuff. But yeah, so just do these little hinges and filigree and all that jazz. Get it all metaled up. Here you can see these studs. Oh, you might have noticed I switched my brush a little while ago. It's exactly for these little studs, these tiny little details. Get a smaller brush. Here we go with the Neln Oil Gloss again. Get those metallics shining up, greased. Place it all in there. Don't forget the little studs. That'll help break them up, make them real apparent. Alright, and then in with the chrome, real quick. Same as the other metal. You don't have to highlight, edge highlight everything. Just do the little pings and pips that you want, and it'll really pop and stand out regardless. That chrome is super bright, I love it. So you don't really have to do a lot. Alright, the reinforced door. Keen eyes will notice I've already painted the door wood. It is that snakebite leather from before. We're going to use Gore-Grunta fur. Do the stumps. It's kind of like roots on the side. They don't really look like vines, so I decided to do them a different color. Do your best to ignore that I'm painting off the screen. There we go. All better. So yeah, just paint that stump with that Gore-Grunta. You'll see it's a nice kind of orangey brown color. It makes it stand out. It's different from the door wood as well. Really pops. And they're pretty big, so shouldn't have too much trouble. Go back to that medium brush and get right in there. Alright, and with that done, we are going to skip a step. You're going to do the base and the metals, the exact same as the other doors. So just repeat those steps for the base and the door hinges and whatnot. They're just going to be the same metal. These ones, on the other hand, are going to be a little different. Okay, so here we go. That's all done. That's what it looks like. I trust you guys. You can do that. And here we're going to do these gold Retributor armor, my favorite base gold color. It is probably my favorite gold across any line. It's got great coverage, super awesome. Everybody loves Retributor armor gold. Come on. So here we are. Just be really, really careful here. This little circle thing. I'm back to that small brush. And just base coat that. Here we go. This little door knocker too. Get that door knocker all golded up. And those are our golds. Do it on the other side and you're good. Alright, so same as the Nuln Oil, we're going to do Reichland Flesh Shade Gloss for those exact same reasons as before. I like how it sits in the recesses and crevices. You can use any other thing you like. That's a kind of peachy, glazy shade, I guess. But I like this one. There you go. Look at that. Here's a nice rosy tint. So we're going to use chrome for our highlights. We're just going to jump right into the chrome. We're not even going to base them up again. We're just going to jump right in. And yeah, I like to chrome up my gold. I think it makes it look super shiny. That's how I do my true metallics. Look at that. Those little pings. Bing, bing, bing. Alright, next we're going to do that eyeball thing. Aethermatic blue is what we're going to do for it. Give it a kind of weird, otherworldly look. And yeah, just cover that little eyeball. Try to avoid the middle, but it's not a super big deal. You'll see why. Alright, now that both of those are done, we're just coming in with our craft paint. This is why you didn't have to be careful. Oh, it all makes sense. So just come in there with the white, any white. I'm using that crappy craft paint because it's easy. And just get that iris bit. You don't gotta worry about the pupil or nothing like that. Just get that little raised iris bit. Get in there. Be brave. Next up, we've got Yandin Yellow, because that's a creepy color for an iris, right? So this weird, creepy eyeball thing is going to get Yandin Yellow in there, be real otherworldly. Bam, done. Easy as that. Load it up, squish it up, slap it on, get her done. Alright, I got this little bottle cap for mixing, because we're going to be doing some mix and paint with this Volupus Pink. We're doing some runes. Looks like it's got runes on the outside, so I figured let's make some cool magic runes. We're going to use this Volupus Pink, mix it with some water. Looks like I'm doing a 3, maybe 4, 2, let's count. 1, 2, 4 to 2, so I guess a 1/2. Oh, 4 to 3 mix. So there you go. Testing it on my palette right there. Both of them. We're just making a glaze. This looks like 5 parts water. Oh, 6 parts. Oh my gosh. 7 parts. 7 parts water, 4 parts contrast paint. Make a little glaze. We're going to do these little runes. So I think as I was painting this, I was noticing, ooh, that's a little faded. So if you're using that exact same mix, dose layers. Put 2 layers on. Really make it pop. Yeah, dose. You can see I already realized it. There you go. 2 layers really makes it pop out. Alright, the iron door. Can you guess what this one's going to be made out of? We're going to do all of our metallic steps, except we're going to mix it up a bit. So we're going in with that gunmetal. Always that gunmetal. We're going to dry brush it on this time. We don't really care about that total coverage. We're just gonna slam it on there. Just get that metallic tint on everything. It's already contrasted up, right, with that initial white dry brush, so just get it on there quick and dirty. It'll all look metallic. It'll be fine. Trust the process. Test it on your palette, your hand, nail, wherever. Check the consistency. Keen eyes will notice also that I have painted the base, just like all the other ones, with skeleton horde, 1 or 2 layers, whatever you like. Don't forget the other side. Alright, next we're going back to good old non-oil gloss. Man, that's hard to say. So you'll see here I'm gonna do most of it, but I am gonna avoid the little flickery flame section in the middle. It's like a embossed fire. We're gonna avoid that part because we're gonna do it in a different color. But everything else, just lacquer it all up, and make sure you get a nice coating in the creases. Get all up in them creases. This door swings open. You want to make it look deep. Here we go. Same thing with those eyes. You want to focus in on the eyes and deepen the mouth and stuff. Those bigger pools, we want to make them noticeably dark. Get all up in there. Give them special care and attention. Alright, here we come back in with the gunmetal. We're just going to do a little bit of dry brushing over top to bring back that original sheen. You know, don't want to darken down too much. Bring back that mid-tone. Here you see I've switched to my medium brush again, and that's because I want to do a little focus and attention on the eye sockets and the tusks, the forehead, and some teeth. Really make sure that we pop them back up. We don't want them too dark or whatever. They're focal points, right? We want to bring them back. And we're back with that Retributor armor. Our favorite gold. We're going to do the little lock and the corner pieces. That's going to be all we're doing gold. So just go around, be careful, because we've kind of halfway finished the silver, but hey, mistakes happens, you can correct them. Trust you, got faith in you. Just go around, do these little corner pieces, the brackets I guess, and the lock on both sides. Alright, we're doing something new, Balthazar Gold. This is how I like to do a coppery brass kind of look. So we start with Balthazar Gold, and we're going to use it on the fire part. That's going to break it up from the gold and the silver. It's going to make it more distinct. So cover up those embossed flames with the Balthazar Gold on both sides, and then we'll carry on with the next step. What do you know? That next step is Reikland Fleshshade Gloss. Bringing it back home. Same steps. All the metallics are the same. Real simple. You got this. I'll hold your hand. We're a team. We got this. Just put that Fleshshade on all the golds. Here we are coming out of left field with some chrome dry brush. We're going to dry brush that chrome over the big skull head. Some quick highlighting before we get right into the nitty gritty. So yeah, just get it on that skull, the big raised parts, the tusk of the forehead, before we go back in with a medium or small brush for some pinpoint highlights. Speak of the devil, here's those highlights. So just go around with that chrome and hit all the metallic parts, little studs, a couple of the edges, paint in some texture. You see I do right there with that scratch. Be a little messy, experiment. And then don't forget to do some pings and pin pricks on that gold there. Really make it pop. Now we got something special for the Balthazar Gold. We're going in with Retributor Armor as a highlight. I think this adds a really cool glow to the copper bronze metal look. It really gives it a brightness to it, like a flaming red brightness. I think it's really cool. So that's how we're going to highlight that up. And before you know it, you'll be done. Alright, let's check out our work. 4 door styles down. Here they are, all their glory. First up, we got these closed and open doors. Look at that, looking alike, looking good. Lots of contrast, bright, real nice. Next up, we got this iron door. Look at that sheen, shiny, super cool. I even did a little bit of a moss thing on the top. You'll see that in another video. And here's that reinforced door. Those runes came out really nice. The blue goes well with the pink. Good color choices. Look at that. Alright, I think that's about everything. Let's wrap up. And there you have it. Let me know in the comments down below how you did your doors. Have you picked up Hero Quest? Are you going to paint all the furniture and minis? Let me know. Or even let me know what you'd like to see next. We got a lot of furniture for Hero Quest. There's a ton of it. So look out for that coming up. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification. And yeah, I think that's about it. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.